Hi, everybody. I'm Miss Judy from the Red Bank Library, and I work with Miss Sarah in the children's room. You might or might not have seen me there. And tonight we're going to talk about what's for breakfast. And the answer actually is anything at all. And we're going to talk about that, what breakfast is all about and what we can eat for breakfast and what a breakfast food really is. And then we're going to read a book about what kids eat around the world. And I wonder if you ever wonder what kids eat around the world, what they eat for breakfast. It's not always the same thing that we eat, and it'll be interesting for you to see what breakfast foods are around the world so that maybe you'll understand that almost anything can be a breakfast food. So let's get started. So why do we eat breakfast? Does anybody really know what breakfast is all about and why we even eat it? Well, actually, stop to think about it. You've been sleeping all night and your body has been using the fuel that it got from the day before, and your body sort of runs out of fuel, just like a car at the end of a long trip will run out of fuel. So you have to fuel up. Breakfast gives you the fuel to get you going so that you can hit the ground running with plenty of energy. And this is energy that you need to keep your body and your mind working right. Breakfast gives you energy to play so that you're not tired and you have plenty of energy, and you can ride your bike, or you can play basketball, or you can run around, you can jump rope, any of those other things. And it also gives you energy to be able to study better in school. And if you think about it, when you're tired, it's hard to focus on your lessons and on what you're learning in school, and maybe taking tests or even just putting together a puzzle or something like that. It can be hard if you're tired and you haven't eaten any breakfast. It also helps our stomachs to feel full until the next meal so that we don't get hungry and tired. And if we don't eat breakfast, we're hungry. And we might be so hungry that we can't wait till lunch. But if you have breakfast, that won't happen. And it helps you to get all the vitamins and minerals you need to grow. And as I said, it keeps us from being tired and cranky. And skipping breakfast, as I said, can make you feel tired. And have you ever remember how you feel when you don't eat breakfast? You can feel sort of cranky and moody and not very happy about things because you're thinking about how hungry you are. And what is a breakfast food anyway? Think about that for a minute. Of course, I put up the slide for cereal because we do eat cereal in this country. It's definitely a breakfast food, though I do know people who eat it for dinner as well. We also eat eggs, and you'll notice the tomatoes with the eggs, and that's adding veggies, which is always a good thing. We eat toast. We eat pancakes. But there are some foods that also are good for breakfast that you might not think about, like, for instance, a zucchini or a carrot muffin. You can put peanut butter on it, or, even low-fat cream cheese. And what about just a peanut butter and jelly sandwich? Great. That would be something that would be delicious. And as long as you add veggies and fruit to your breakfast, it makes it a really good, healthy meal. You can also have a glass of milk with that, or a small glass of juice. But other than that, breakfast can actually be anything you want. Even foods you might have had for dinner the night before, leftovers. Anybody eat leftovers for breakfast? Well, I can think of one leftover that I think is really delicious that I like to eat in the morning, and that's pizza. Why can't you have pizza in the morning? You had it the night before, especially if it's got veggies on it, or you eat veggies with it, like carrots or, celery or broccoli or cucumbers or whatever. Pizza's fine. It's good. It can be a breakfast food if you have that left over. Also, beans and rice. A lot of people eat that for lunch. A lot of people eat that for dinner, but there's no reason why you can't eat that for lunch, and it's pretty delicious too. Also, you can have a whole wheat bagel and some yogurt and some berries. That's good. Or you could have a tortilla or even an English muffin and some cheese and a banana on the side, or vegetables if you want it. And another thing that we never think about that we can have for breakfast, because we usually have it for lunch, is sandwiches. Any kind of sandwich. It can be a burger. It can be a turkey burger. It can be a chicken sandwich, or it can be a turkey sandwich. It could even be a tuna fish sandwich. There's no reason why you can't have any kind of sandwich at all, a cheese sandwich, an egg salad sandwich, any kind of meat, roast beef, anything that you want. A sandwich is a really great way to have something a little bit different for breakfast. But just remember that we don't want to eat sugary foods like sugar-coated cereals, Pop-Tarts, donuts. They give you a burst of energy, they definitely do, but that energy will not last. And after you eat them, you might lose a lot of energy and feel very tired, and you're right back to the beginning again, with not feeling full and energized to really get through your day. And foods like whole grains, beans, fruit and vegetables have a lot of fiber, and they can keep you full. And they also will help you keep from getting tired. And I keep saying that, and keep feeling hungry until your next meal comes. So now we're going to read a book about foods that children eat in different countries around the world. But before we do that, here are some other breakfasts that might seem strange to us, but are normal and taste good to kids that eat them every day. These are breakfasts that aren't mentioned in the book, and I thought you might like to hear about them. In Finland, they eat fruit, cheese, tomatoes, cucumbers, and smoked reindeer, and on bread. So that's interesting. A lot of fruit and vegetables there, and then there's smoked reindeer meat. In Japan, they eat roasted seaweed dipped in soy sauce, boiled rice, pickled radishes, and salted plums. Those are also foods that, maybe we don't eat them. We wouldn't think of eating them here, like seaweed or, but seaweed and boiled rice. In China, they eat rice, dried pork, pickles, and soybean juice as well. So these are some of the foods that they eat in those countries. Now, this book is called Breakfast Around the World. It's written by Ye-Shil Kim. And if you're interested in getting it out of the library, you can speak to one of the librarians or Miss Sira, and we can get it for you. And if you're interested in about other books about breakfast foods and foods that people eat around the world, you're just interested in general in seeing what other people are eating, you can speak to the librarian in the children's room, and we'll find you some books that you might be interested in. Okay, so let's get started with this book. The sun is up and morning is here. And what do people around the world eat for breakfast each morning? And that's what we're going to talk about. So this is England. I notice these double-decker buses. And this is London, actually, the capital city of the United Kingdom. Hello, they're saying to us. Big Ben, the clock at the Parliament buildings, chimes 7 o'clock and people are awake. The double-decker bus is full of tourists on a trip for the day around the city. Dad and I must hurry or we'll be late. I put a delicious slice of cheese on a large baked potato and put it in the microwave. Our breakfast is jacket potato, and that's what they call this, jacket potato. And I'm thinking that maybe they call it jacket potato because it's potato in the skin, and the skin is sort of the jacket around the potato. You'll also notice that they have some broccoli on that plate, so they're adding veggies to that. And we usually eat it for lunch, but it's one of my favorite foods. So I'm having it for breakfast today, and Dad and I have half a potato each. So here's something that people don't normally eat for breakfast, but they're choosing to eat it for breakfast that day. So then we're in Mexico City, the capital of Mexico. Hola, the marketplace is busy. People are singing and playing guitars, and other people are selling food and pottery. And in our kitchen, Mama is putting meat, cheese, and beans in a thin, flat tortilla. Now I'm going to take a minute and ask, does anybody know what this might be called? Because I have had it before, and you've probably seen it on menus around town. It's a breakfast burrito, which is made by filling a flour tortilla with beans, eggs, cheese, and sausage or bacon. And it's usually served with salsa, which is your veggie. So a lot of these breakfasts include veggies. So our breakfast is a burrito, and it's shared equally between the little boy who's talking, his brother, and his sister. So they share equal parts of that. Here's Moscow, the capital of Russia. Privyet, that's hello. The onion-shaped roofs of St. Basil's Cathedral shine brightly in the morning sun. There is a delicious smell in our kitchen. Grandma's rye bread will be ready after I count 1 to 10 seconds. And she's going to count using matryoshka. And these are these little nesting dolls that you might have seen. You open one and there's another one inside and you keep opening that. And it's Matryoshka 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And out comes grandma's bread. Our breakfast is gleb. Gleb means bread in Russian, and we all love traditional rye bread. And we divide it into 4 equal parts. And they might put cheese on that bread or, you know, eat it with some other foods, but that's one of the staples of their breakfast every morning, which is not too different from what we eat. So here is Seoul, the capital city of South Korea, Anyang. Hello. It is morning and cars are busy on the roads. In our kitchen, Mom is making breakfast. The rice is washed clean, the kimchi chopped. Now, kimchi is a fermented cabbage, much like sauerkraut, only it's a little spicier, and I think it's delicious. And the soup boiled. And though the kimchi and the soup go into the rice, so delicious steam comes out of that rice cooker. But, so their breakfast is rice, and there are 5 bowls of rice, 1 for each member of their family. But if uncle, who is always late, rushes off, the little boy who's talking or the little girl who's talking says, I will get his bowl, and that means I have 2 bowls. So he gets, or she gets extra. Here's Rome, the capital city of Italy, and you're gonna like this one. Ciao. Morning has come to the Colosseum in Rome, the Leaning Tower of Pisa, and the gondolas in Venice. Today, I'm very happy because, and I'm put in the very because I would be very happy because I am allowed to have my favorite food for breakfast, even though this isn't really a breakfast food, but we talked about this. Dad puts tomato sauce and cheese on a big round dough and bakes it in a hot oven. And what do you think this is called? We all know it's pizza. Our breakfast is pizza. And it's easy to divide it equally, and we cut it into 8 pieces. And it's even better if you, as I said, if you have vegetables like carrot sticks or celery sticks or broccoli or anything that you like. Well, this little girl had 5 of the 8 slices. Her sister had 3 of the 8 slices, and she feels so full, which I think I would feel as well if I had 5 slices of pizza. I don't think I've ever eaten 5 slices, but I've definitely had 3 or 4 myself, and I'm sure that you all had numerous slices of pizza. So next we go to Cairo, the capital of Egypt in the Middle East. Salam alaikum. Another hot day has started, but the Nile, the longest river in the world, will quench the thirst of people and camels. For breakfast, we can eat a delicious soup. And that's something I didn't mention, but soup is definitely something you can have in the morning, especially in the winter when it's cold out and you want a warm soup and maybe some toast or an English muffin or a bagel or something like that. But for breakfast, they eat delicious soup. And their breakfast is ful, a soup made from tomatoes and fava beans. Their big family eats it with aish, which is like a pita bread, which is a bread made from flour. And I've shown you some pictures of what the food looks like. And down at the bottom here is some puffed pita bread, which is what they would be eating with this. So that's delicious. So breakfast prepares us for our day, and that's all that really matters, is that you eat a food that is not high in sugar, that you combine with fruits and vegetables and maybe milk and a glass of juice to give you the energy that you need to refuel after sleeping all night. And so, as you can see, the answer to what's for breakfast is almost anything. Hope you've enjoyed this, and we will see you soon. Thanks for coming.